Gloucestershire returned to T20 blast action and thrashed the South Group leaders Kent by 8 wickets with 38 balls to spare in Bristol in what was an almost perfect performance. Kent were asked to bat after losing the toss, and Zach Crawley was soon finding his range for a Spitfires side which has been impressive thus far in this competition, winning 5 of their 6 previous matches. Both Crawley and Daniel Bell-Drummond have been in fine form, and this time they opened up with a stand of 30, made in the first 3.5 overs. Josh Shaw ended that partnership as he sent Bell-Drummond on his way for 11, a fine over from the bowler which brought him that wicket and cost only 7. So the Spitfires struggled a bit to reach 43 for 1 at the end of their 6 overs of power play, but with Crawley still there and going after David Payne, they would still have been hopeful of posting something to challenge their hosts. They were set back though 3 balls after that 6 as Joe Denley fell cheaply as he picked out Jack Taylor to go for 5 at 53 for 2. By the halfway stage of their innings, Kent were 3 down. Tom Smith with a big wicket of Crawley as he top-edged to Daniel Worrell, out for 43. And the Gloucesters were well in the ascendancy when Jack Leaning chipped Smith to Benny Howell. Smith with figures of 2 for 17 from 3 overs, as ever impressive. 3 figures were still not on the board when Alex Blake gave Taylor his second catch of the evening. The skipper thrilled to bits, no doubt, with the way his side had performed in the field. The evergreen Darren Stevens tried to give his side some hope by taking Howell for a couple of boundaries in the 16th over, one which went for 15 runs, but the 17th and the 18th were both free of 4s, as Payne and Ryan Higgins bowled tidily. So into the penultimate over, and Worrell struck first ball of it as Stevens lifted him to Chris Dent, who held on magnificently. Stevens out after making 15, Kent now on 125 for 6. Only Jamie Cox kept going, he making an undefeated 36, but his side had fallen well short of where they would have wanted to be, ending their 20 overs on 147 for 7. And that score was very quickly put into perspective as Hammond opened up the reply with back-to-back boundaries off Denley. Dent made sure he was not going to be left behind his partner by going big in the second over, but it was when Stewart came on to bowl the 4th over that Gloucestershire ran away with the game. His first 2 deliveries were both dispatched over the rope by Hammond, beefy strikes from the left-hander, who was given the perfect line and length from the bowler to swing right through that line. Hammond's 33 occupied only 16 balls, his last seeing him pirouette in sending a top edge off Milnes to Cox, who held on after quite a run with the pads on. Hammond was out with 54 runs on the board, but by the end of the power play, Gloucestershire had raced to 75 for 1. Stewart's second over going for 21 runs, Dent loving every minute of his time at the crease. Alas, he fell for 37, stumped off a big wide, but he and Hammond before him had quickly taken this game away for the visitors. Net run rate could be a factor at the end of the group stage, and so there was now no let-up from Glenn Phillips or Ian Cobain. The latter smashed Kays Ahmad over the rope, and then he took on Frederick Clarkson as the Gloucesters raced to a score of 114 for 2 at the halfway stage of their reply. That would have been a mightily impressive tally in any game, but when chasing only 148 runs to win, it was totally destructive. This was quite simply a thrashing. Gloucestershire the better of the teams in all departments by a distance, even though Cobain had to retire hurt on 30 after tangling with Ahmad. They still, though, never let up, taking full advantage of any poor delivery as Phillips did here. And the way the contest was completed summed it all up. Gloucestershire required only 11 runs to win from 7 overs. Phillips played out 2 dot balls to start the 14th over, but then launched into Denley. Next ball, Phillips had the audacity to slog sweep a reverse hit over the rope to take his side over the line. It was an almost contemptuous way to end, but for Taylor and his team, a very satisfying one. Phillips ending on 41 made from 25 balls. The 8-wicket win came with 38 deliveries unused, and the 2 points helped Gloucestershire close the gap on group leaders, who are still Kent, to only 2 points, and thankfully, they go again at home to Glamorgan on Thursday.